So yeah, audience, as we were discussing before, my job is on the line because of Jake's recommendation for
This guy,
Transformers. So.
this
Very
guy.
disappointed.
Listen. I have all of the two reviewers on my side. I have all the kids in the theater on my side. I have on my side. Okay, it's all good.
Huh? Okay. I mean, it was Austin who put me in this pickle to begin with, so.
I have a story for you guys.
I'm just here to talk about hot monsters. That's all I care about.
I have a story for you guys in the audience. So like so every time I wake up, I have to go to work. I have to be there by 7:15. Not because anything crazy happens, but because they really want you there for the morning meeting, basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's stupid because if you're late to the morning meeting, you get kicked out, so you can't watch the rest of the morning meeting. I'm like, so why do we even have to do it? It seems optional anyway. But anyway,
honestly.
yeah. So I'm 15 minutes away from work. That's the distance I live from it. And I went to sleep after the podcast last night. I was very tired. I forgot to set my alarm, so I woke up. It was 7:10 in the morning, basically. And I lost my phone, and so by the time I left the work, it was 7:20, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get fired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak in through the back of the school and act like I was always there, basically.
How did that go for you?
Okay. First, bureau.
And so I do all this, and after everything gets situated and set up, I run into my coworker, and I was like, I tell him what I'm telling you now, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't hear? There wasn't a morning meeting today. You could have came in late." I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, there was a blackout at the school. You didn't have to come at all." And I was like, okay. So on one hand, I'm happy. On the other hand, I was annoyed because I freaked out for nothing. So it was funny.
Yeah, Jake. I know what it's like to feel angry and relieved at the same time. So.
But it was funny because I even tried sneaking past my boss. Like I saw two of my bosses, and I tried sneaking around them like on some Metal Gear shit, only to find out I could have just said good morning to them the whole time. But
man, it's almost like you're at a place that expects perfect attendance, right?
Yeah.
But,
if they asked, I would have blamed it on you guys, though. I would have said, "Hey." So.
Hey, don't.
Okay. Now who's pinning responsibility on who now, Jake?
This is payback. Okay. This was payback.
Yeah. Down with Jake, okay. Up with the witch, sideways with cryptid. Slam.
Yeah. All right then. I guess with that, you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, welcome to Comic Phanatic Live with the reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Zeker 415. If I'm unemployed by next week, you all know who to blame.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're here with me, Jake Tylenol, the one who is right about his reviews, okay? Who never misses a beat. So, if Cryptid loses his job, his boss has poor taste.
Austin's not here. He is currently messaging us through the Void because he asked me to put him in the Void for right now for safety reasons. Just chill. But I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I am the lover of monsters, and you can't take that away from me. I am the number one Adam Frankenstein sim.
You monster fucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, together we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. Today is Tuesday, so we're talking about comics. And boy, do we have a packed night today. Well, not really. It's kind of our moderate nights. But we have something from the universe of Sonic, the universe of Marvel, the universe of Christopher Chaos.
Yeah, monsters.
And we have some Bionicles, as per usual.
And we also have more monsters coming up.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's my monster week, guys.
But yeah, you could always follow us on the socials, which we'll be more than happy to provide.
Oh, hi. I could do socials. Why not? I always do that. Anyways, you kids subscribe to us because I'll be nice, You can also follow us on Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. We do post updates on there whenever we are live, assuming that you don't have notifications on here. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Jake, do you hear this shit?
I hear the shit. I hear it. I'm mad.
Exactly. But if you don't want to follow us for any reason, but you want to follow me because you love my totally not nasally, grainy ass voice, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. I just retweet a lot of random stuff. Because I can. There's a new Twisted Wonderland event that's gonna be coming out this year, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas themed. So, yo, how you feeling tonight, Jake?
I'm feeling pretty good, especially because I know that our new watchers will like our video and maybe subscribe if they have the time. It's just a little button right
And if
there.
you also want to hear my voice more, you can follow me on TikTok, and you can also follow me on Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. And if you want to see me reblog a whole bunch of North Star stuff and maybe some Castlevania stuff, you can follow me on Tumblr at North Star Aria. Yeah, sometimes I do post on there, but it's mostly just reblogging a lot of North Star stuff. So
yes. Also, feel free to go back and watch our movie reviews. We review great movies, like our favorite movie, Aquaman, and as well as Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney movies, and other stuff that you might have heard of. So you might be surprised what you find in there. So go down to our playlist that's on the channel and look up our movie reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess with that,
let's start. All right. So with that, go ahead, Jake.
It's the Year of Shadow, everyone. And today we'll be talking about the Shadow the Hedgehog manga, which is a Japanese exclusive manga all about Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, I'm not from Japan. So
I didn't know that.
Right. So you're probably wondering, how did I read this? Because there was translations for the manga. Now these weren't great translations, but it was enough to understand the story, and I will judge it as fairly as I can based off that. Luckily, not too much to complain about as far as a manga format goes. This is a surprisingly cool book. Nothing groundbreaking, but it does go more into depth with Shadow's origins and creations. That I really liked, like his not just a relationship with Maria, but his relationship with the scientists on the Ark as well, and Shadow's existential crisis. He was made basically to help find a cure for Maria, and people who had the same disease as Maria, but that's not really going well.
I have to ask real quick before you finish. Does Maria get shot?
Ooh.
We'll get there. Okay. But yeah, Maria. But that cure has not gone really well. So Shadow is kind of like lost. He's like, well, I was born to help this girl, but like, I can't do it. Like, I'm useless. And I like how the other scientists kind of like, the other scientists don't let him get depressed, though. They're kind of supportive of him. They're like, no, Shadow, you're the ultimate life form. You're a badass. Like, there's so much more stuff you could do. He's like, yeah, I guess. All right, well, I guess. But he doesn't really care. In his mind, his only purpose is to help Maria. So like in the games, one of the things that Maria and Shadow like to do together is look outside the window and watch Earth, because Maria hasn't really been on Earth that much or at all. And we see and Shadow's like, we've seen this planet 100 times. Everybody's like, yeah, but I just love the sight of it. It's like a really good sight, like a really good place to look at. I really wish I could be there someday. But hey, if you could go down there, Shadow, I want you to enjoy the life that I wanted when you go down there. Shadow's like, I guess I could do that. And sure enough, eventually, because this is the Shadow origin story, we do see the gun raid, which is way more violent this time. Because I think it's funnier too. So the gunny just run in on Shadow and the other scientists, who were supporting Shadow before. And the moment the scientists realize they're gonna die, they go like, well, hang on, listen. I didn't even want to be here, okay? Shoot that freak, that hedgehog freak, shoot him, don't kill me, basically. And Shadow's like, what the fuck? Basically.
I didn't deserve this.
Right.
I'm trying to vibe.
And sure enough, the gun agents are like, listen, I don't care. I don't care what you are on this place. We're scrubbing everyone. Everyone's dying. And blah, 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 blah. They're all dead, basically. And Shadow's like, okay, listen, I don't care about any of this. I just got to get Maria alive. And he races to get Maria. And Cryptid, we want to pull up that poster. That picture I sent.
Hold on a sec. Which one was it?
It was the first picture, like the manga panel. Do you see it?
Let's see. The green one?
No. That's from later. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Gotcha.
It should be a black and white image.
I don't think I uploaded that. I don't think I... Wait. Is it this one?
No, not this one.
Oh, good. Damn. All right. Sorry. Technical issues, audience.
But yeah, there is a picture of the gun agent. Just as Shadow thinks Maria is safe. The gun agent comes out of nowhere with like, nope, not that one. Gun agent comes out of nowhere and like with like, it looks like, I'm looking at the picture now. It looks like he came in with like an assault rifle and just like pepper sprayed Maria with bullets, basically. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. And it ends with Shadow just being like, what the fuck did you just do? And that's kind of where it ends so far. So yeah, I'm very curious as to what they're gonna do. Actually see how Shadow got captured because I was never explored in the games. So yeah, I think it's interesting. We'll see. But yeah.
It sounds good. I mean, because since it's like from the other side of the world, they're able to get away with a lot more fatalities than it would be here in the West. So, you know?
Yeah. But yes, it's interesting. I think I would have liked to see Maria and Shadow do more together, just have more hobbies together. I think the Shadow the Hedgehog fan film that's on YouTube, you can watch it for free, did a great job of showing Shadow's relationship with Gerald and Maria and fleshing it out more and making them feel like his close friends. So like I wish that was more in the manga, but hey, it is what it is.
Gotcha. But all right then. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
We
Okay.
good.
Gotcha. All right then, audience. With that, we're moving on to the next topic. Hold on a sec. All right, audience. We're talking about Captain America issue number 13. Now, well, I think it's actually 12. Sorry, mistype. But anyway, y'all know I've been having a lot of problems with this specific arc, right? And when it came to our last issue discussion, I credited all to editorial forcing all these mutants, these new mutants. They're just leftovers from the ashes at X-Men series that I'm sure like the editorials are like, okay, no current X-Men writer wants to really use these mutants. Oh wait, J. Michael Straczynski, you're trying to introduce a couple new people? Okay, here's your new people. Make something out of them, you know? I'm just going to flash forward to the end of this issue because, believe it or not, every problem I've had with this arc, it disappears.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, whoa. So anyway, we end up picking off from what happened in the last issue because apparently the entity of Thef, I'm not even bothering remembering his name. He's an old dark cloak guy with long dark hair. Nothing too like, you know, this is he wouldn't. It's not like he will ever catch your eye, you know, at a convention. Let's put it that way, you know. So he gives this town portions of his powers because he wants to prevent Captain America from sending these agents of change to the front door. You know, remember that Mutant Performing Arts Center that's being protected by Lyra, the Angels, who's also pretty much the Jean Grey stand-in of this arc. You know, white woman, long red hair, wearing green chest plate with a yellow X. Okay, yeah, I know what you were doing there, Marvel.
Yeah.
So anyway, they fight, they tango. Captain America gets the rings he previously gave to everybody because apparently Lyra gave him rings that were supposed to protect them from the monsters, from the evil guy. But apparently Lyra didn't really give Cap instructions on how to actually use them. You figured that would be important, right? So he ends up using all. He ends up deciding maybe they're all stronger together. So he has all the rings. He ends up wearing all the rings, and that's where he has his tussle with the deaf guy. And long story short, Captain America ends up defeating Death, but Death is having his final epilogue moment, saying, "No, you crushed me, Captain America, but in doing so, you prevented me from ending all your suffering. For now, the lives of everybody is to continue. I could have ended all their suffering from that of life, you know?"
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
I guess. Yeah.
So after that, all the mutants that Captain America brought together, apparently they made their way onto the front door or whatever. And after all the citizens were freed from the Death's power and Death himself was defeated, Captain America goes to the front door, and it's gone. It's gone.
The door, the whole plot.
The whole building. Again, it's like a theater. It's supposed to be like a quote unquote a safe space for all outsiders. And it's also supposed to be the safe house for these agents of change. But yeah, the whole building disappears. It's gone. And Cap is only left to assume that Lyra did end up taking all of them to a safe haven along with the building. So I'm guessing maybe they got sent to that whatever dimension the mutants are at now. All the ones that got revived. And at least that's my hunch, And Captain America is just left there, just wondering if he'll ever see them again. And you see some of his dead plants he has out in his window, they're gaining life again. So maybe you'll see them, maybe not. Who really cares? I mean, is anybody eager to see Skins? Is anybody eager to see that bug-eyed guy?
I thought he was
Is
a
anybody?
character, honestly.
Huh?
I thought he was a real character. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. These would be like D-list level mutants, really. And you know what? I keep stating this, right? It definitely feels like editorial mandated. J. Michael, they said, okay, J. Michael Straczynski will let you do whatever the heck you want for the first arc of Captain America, but for the second one, we need you to promote these mutants, all right? But then somebody on the inside is like, okay, yeah, this story just really going all over the place. It doesn't seem like anything's working out or coinciding or being used harmoniously. Okay, you could just ditch all that, J. Michael Straczynski, and the next arc, it looks Cap is going to go back to having a team up with some superheroes, right? His two team ups will be with Thor and Spider Man. Now, this is important because you gotta ask yourself, out of all the superheroes Cap could be teaming up with, why is he teaming up with Thor and Spider Man? What do those two have in common, right?
Cap and Spider-Man? Couldn't tell you, bestie.
No. What those two have.
If you want me to get nitty gritty, they're both strong.
Yeah, but more.
New York.
Yeah, but the most important thing is the fact that J. Michael Straczynski has written runs of both of those characters before. So I'm like, okay. Now the next arc is going to be J. Michael Straczynski wanting to write the run he wants to write. So I'm like, okay, good for him. So maybe this series could get back on track. Because it was, I can't stress it enough. This was such a night and day comparison. Because you all know how much I love that first arc of Captain America in this run, right? But to see it go this way, huh?
You were praising it every week.
I know. I don't know where I started seeing the downfall of this second arc. I think it was because you saw that penguin pop up in was it in Chile? I think in the middle of a desert. I'm like, what the beep is going on? So, all right, editorial, quit trying to screw over Cap's book. Come on, all right. So you knew you fucked up with the last run, so that's why you came begging J. Michael Straczynski to write this Dan Cap run. And dang it, let him write it the way he wants to write it. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, I guess with that, we're pretty much done. All right, I guess we're going on to the next one then. Ooh.
That's right. We were
hold
kind
up
of
a sec.
spoiled on what this one was because of
Okay,
some technical issues. But yes,
technical
we'll be
issue.
talking about Sonic IDW number 73. We are almost reaching the end of the Phantom Rider arc. Clutch's plan is
Okay, that was
has
me.
almost fully been realized, and the heroes may be too late to stop it. And Sonic has been exposed as the Phantom Rider. So
hmm
it seems like, everything's the heroes are on the back foot again. What I think this is more of just like the action-paced comic, really. Not really much to report here. There's some good dialogue between Sonic and the other cast members because Sonic is a good trash talker. That's how I like my Sonic. He's just like a bully sometimes. I really like Sonic. He just bullies people sometimes. But yeah, I think we even get another brief Surge versus Sonic fight. Where surprisingly Surge gets the upper hand on Sonic. Like, she doesn't beat him in the fight, but she does do what she has to do, which is really impressive for her. I mean, to me at least. Yeah. Like I said, not really much to report here. Just kind of keeping up with the book as it's coming out. The art is still great. And I do like the banter between all the characters. I do like how all the characters are finally like on the same page. Like, even now, Lanolin for the first time is learning that Sonic is the Phantom Rider in the middle of the mission. And I'm really excited how she takes the fact that her team did not tell her beforehand that Sonic was the guy they were chasing the whole time because they did not trust her as a leader, basically. I hope that leads to like some really good drama later on. That's kind of what I'm really hoping for. But yeah, like I said, not much to report here other than the great art and the good story. Just kind of keeping up with it. So yeah.
Alrighty then. Yeah, nice little continuation and all that good stuff.
Oh, I do want to say I did have a criticism. I did remember one thing.
Okay.
See this guy here on the picture?
Yeah. This
guy's name is Clutch. He's Sonic's version of the Kingpin right now. That's what they're trying to do. So his plan is he wants to take over the Restoration, and which is a nonprofit group that helps build environments. So he wants to do a corporate takeover of the Restoration, and so he can make a profit out of it. Basically, that's what all this is about. And Jewel, who is in charge of the Restoration, she's like this meek little beetle girl. She was put in charge by Amy, who was the previous administration owner. She is smart enough to catch on that Clutch is the bad guy of the arc, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to confront him about it. And she tries to do it, and Clutch is like, lady, like, I have already like won. I own everybody in this building. You can't do anything about it. And Jewel is like, oh, okay. And then she just kind of leaves. And I'm like, that's it? This was like 3 issues of build up to Jewel maybe finding out what Clutch was up to. And all it amounted to her was basically going like, oh, I see. I can't do anything. Let me go tell my friends to do something for me. I think it was just a little bit weak. It's not enough to really hate the issue. It's just enough to make me be like, damn, Jewel, you were kind of useless this arc. But yeah.
It's almost like we need to introduce new characters, might I suggest 3 blind mice? Jake?
Oh, yes. That would be an interesting theme for Sonic. That's something they would do in Archie. They would make 3 blind mice characters and have to like fight Sonic, like be ninjas or something.
No, go up against this Kingpin you're talking about, you know?
You want the Daredevil. Cool. But yeah. We only have 2 issues left in this arc. I know that they're really excited to show off issue 75 because I think it's gotten so many Like, I've seen 5 different variant covers of issue 75, and it's like 2 months away, basically. So they're really excited about this issue. And I'm excited to see how it all ends. So, good shit.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next one.
For once in my goddamn life.
Let's classical deck. Go ahead.
Yay! So I'm talking about the Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Castle issue 12. They came out last week because monsters, you know me by now. Anyways, we open up with Christopher, and he's like, "Oh my god, I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I'm already grounded. It's like I'm already in trouble with my mom. It's like I'm still recovering from my injuries, from my experiments, and all this stuff. Like, why am I doing this? But is it so wrong if it feels so good, Christopher? That's what addicts say. My child, my love. That's what addicts say. Like, I know it feels good in the moment, but will it feel good in the long term? I mean, maybe, honestly, but still. Anyways, so he builds himself like a little thing, right? And he's like, yeah, humans be damned, mother be damned. Then we'll think about it. Anyways, so he seems satisfied with what he created. We don't know what this thing is just yet, but it's fine. Anyway, so we cut over to later that day. And Christopher is saying in Viv's house, he's like, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm grounded, and my mother believes that I put aside these monstrous things. But I don't care. I brought some cool new people to join our club. So you ready? You ready? Remember those 2 twins from the other issues? Sasha and Luca? They're werewolves. Yay! We have werewolves in the squad now. And Viv is pissed. She's like, are you fucking kidding me? Why the fuck are they in my house? And Christopher, like, he doesn't know what happened. So he's like, what happened? And so Viv is like, they're bullies, Christopher. And so Sasha and Luca are like, this again? Like, we said that we were sorry. And me going through this issue, you're going to be like, wow, Luca seems more of the level-headed one out of this duo when it's usually the other way around. So, yeah, I guess he doesn't fully fulfill the dumb jock stereotype, but whatever. Anyways, so Viv turns to Yordi, and she's like, he doesn't know, man. He was like sick or grounded or whatever. So you got to tell him what happened, man. And he's like, And Luca and Sasha are like, yo, it was a misunderstanding. Like, all we did was follow him around a bit. Like we didn't really do it intended on anything, And Viv is still upset. She's like, no, that's not it. Not exactly. Like, Yordi, like, come on, man. And Christopher is like, is it true? Is it true? Like, did they bully you? And Viv is like, either way, we shouldn't be accepting new members without a vote, And Sasha, being all like sly and stuff, is just like, ooh, a vote? Why not restart the witch trials too? Like, you weren't there that night. Vampire Boy over here was the one egging us on, man. With his cheesy little outfit. It's like, hey, don't make fun of his cheesy little outfit, man. He worked hard on that cheesy little outfit, okay? Shit. Fuck, man. Anyways, so Yordi is like, it's fine. Like, it's chill, man. You don't need to speak it for me. Like, I vote that they stay, okay? Like, it's fine. It was a misunderstanding. Like, what's important is finding monsters, not, like, super petty shit. Like, it's fine. We're good. And so Christopher's like, okay, we good? Like, we did? Like, I know we didn't really... Yordi, like, when we started hanging out, And Christopher's like, oh, we hated each other? I didn't hate you. What was happening here? Anyways, so Yordi invites the twins to the Monster Club. And he's like, we're a bunch of idiots. We're just trying to save the world. But we cut over to some lycanthrope in society. And if you don't know what a lycanthrope is, Google is free. But if you don't know, Werewolf Society. There you go. For the sake of this, Werewolf Society. Anyways, so we see a human-like woman, hanging out around a bunch of werewolves, and she's like, I shouldn't be here. Like like I'm unwanted, you know, it's like a coward, a traitor, you know, and the humans, well, they only knew me as a mother and a wife, like they don't know me either. Like, where else can I go? I got nowhere to be, you know, all because they dare to love someone, you know. And we see this woman look at a picture of Hayden, who was brutally murdered in the first issue, by the Hellwing organization. And I'm going to emphasize that it was by the Hellwing organization. Okay?
No.
You got that? You understand? Jake, do you
Yeah.
understand that?
Jake had to step out
Take that.
earlier because of his throat.
Okay, I'm going to take
Yeah.
that as a yes. I'm going to take a silence as a yes. Anyways, so yeah, this woman's going through it. She lost both her son and her husband. So lovely. Anyways, she gets a knock at the door. You know, we find out this is Hayden's mother, by the way. And so
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's a very Slavic-like name. But it's the leader of the werewolf pack that Sasha and Luca are a part of, kind of, you know. And so she Sarah Kennedy, that's the mom's name. So she invites the leader in with a couple of other werewolves, you know. And so Sarah's like, "Oh, what do I owe the pleasure?" you know. And I don't know how to pronounce her name, to be honest with you. I'm so sorry. Like, there's like weird lettering everywhere, but it's okay. It's spelled Ylvaria. That's all you need to know. And so the pack leader is like, "Oh yeah, so several little birdies have been telling me that you've been suffering. Like, have the wolves been unkind?" And Sarah's like, "You came here to check on me, see if I was all right?" And she was like, "Of course. Like, don't look sad. You're gonna make me sad. I thought I would come here with solutions. Okay, like to make the sadness go away. Which losing both your husband and your son will not automatically take the sadness away, but whatever, it's fine." Anyway, so Sarah's like, "Solutions?" And the leader is like, "Oh, you wish to rejoin the pack? Like, find peace and belonging once more?" So here's the deal. So prepare for a long night then, because there's a new moon and your penance is due. And so Sarah's like, "What do you need?" And the pack leader is like, "Oh, I did what I had promised to you. I found the ones who were to blame for Hayden's tragic death." And Sarah was like, "Oh, it was Hellwing, right? I thought it was Hellwing." And so the pack leader is like, "No, no, 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 no. Like, I know now they did not work alone in this dark business. So if you wish to rejoin the family pack, you have to avenge your son's murder. And then you must be the one to kill him." So, yeah. So she got to go commit a crime today, besties. How you feeling? It's for revenge.
Yeah.
For revenge. Anyway, so we cut over to the city, and we see Mr. Crimson over here. You know, Mr. Crimson Demon over here. Mr. Catholic Guilt. Mr. I have all of the gay thoughts over here. You know, and he's just like sneaking around, you know, trying to find a certain someone, maybe, I don't know. He sees Christopher's mother go home, you know, he stops by a bodega, you know, he stops by there. And he waits for the door to open for someone to leave the building. And guess who it is?
Who?
You have to guess. It was Adam.
Oh,
It was
okay.
husband. My husband.
Gotcha.
Like, me and Mr. Crimson over here are gonna be fighting later. Like, we're gonna be scrapping in the streets over here, okay? For his hand, you know. So basically, Adam is going home, you know, after getting some groceries, as you do. I mean, I do the same thing, so it's fine. Anyway, so Mr. Crimson over here, that's what I'm calling him because I forgot his actual name. So yeah, he's gonna be following Adam. How fucking dare you, bitch? Leave my husband alone, okay? Leave my husband alone, okay? Anyways, it's fine. So we cut over to Monster Club. We have our original 3 members sitting on the couch, and we have the twins sitting on armchairs over there, just like chilling out, you know. And so Luca's like, "So what do you guys do? Like what do you guys do for Monster Club?" And so Christopher's like, "Oh yeah, we mostly just eat pizza and sing karaoke, not gonna lie." And I love how Peggy gets a cameo, guys. Peggy gets our lovely cameos, our favorite dead pigeon. Well, reanimated dead pigeon. Anyways, so Yordi is like, oh yeah, it might not seem like much right now, but you know, we gotta stick together, you know. But we are planning on doing more later, so we're gonna vibe. And I like how me and Yordi wear very similar eyewear. You know, I wonder if his are prescription because mine are definitely prescription because I can't see jacket shit without my glasses. Anyways, so Sasha's like, okay, right, that's totally not vague at all. So do the humans' parents like know you guys are doing this? And Viv's like, I have a name, you know. And Sasha's like, hey, yeah, I know, but I forgot it. God damn it, you two, just make out already. Jesus Christ. You know how many problems will be solved if you just made out? A lot, actually. A lot. Anyways, so Christopher is like, oh yeah, her name is Vivica or Viv, you know, and her parents live abroad, so her house is totally free for us to use. And she doesn't really answer their calls much, anyways. And so Yordi's like, oh well, so you two, what's you guys' story? And I love the twins' little derpy ass faces in some of these panels. This is really funny, you know? And so Sasha's like, oh, like Goggles said earlier, we're monsters without a home, wolves without a pack. At the moment, we don't know what's gonna happen yet. We gotta wait and see, bestie. Anyways, so Viv's like, and your parents are not werewolves? And so Sasha's like, we have a mom, she is, but there's no one else. And so Viv decides to ask the burning question that we've all been asking. So what do you guys know about a werewolf named Hayden? Huh? What do you know about a werewolf named Hayden? And so Sasha and Luca have this like kind of somber look to them. And she's like, Hayden? And so Viv stands up and she's like, my dead boyfriend. You know, like, I'm sorry. Like, I just find it sus as hell that these two redheaded wolves, these ginger ass wolves over here, that had to walk in our lives 6 months to the day after Hayden was killed. And so Sasha stands up and she's like, okay, screw the sob fest. I have 13 other things I could be doing right now. Like, and so Yordi's like, okay, Hayden didn't know any other werewolves, Viv, it's fine. And so Viv is like, if you won't tell Christopher Chaos the truth, I will. You know, like earlier these weeks, these two hunted and chased Yordi through the goddamn streets. He thought he was gonna fucking die over here. And so Sasha's like, oh my god, he's a vampire. He's already dead. It's fine. You know? And so Yordi's like, okay, I said it's chill. I don't care. You know? And so Viv is like, I might have lost the vote, but like, I don't trust these fucking two, man. And I don't fucking trust these two. And so Viv is like ready for the attack. She's summoning her ghostly, spooky cats, you know? And so Sasha's like, I thought this was Monster Club, not some human rights bullshit. I'm like, God damn, Sasha. Slay, I guess. I don't know. And so Viv is like, FYI, it's a Human Monster Alliance Club. And Sasha's like, oh, name's too long? Look what got cut out first, bestie. And so Christopher is like, okay, can we just like calm down a little bit, you know? And Viv is obviously pissed off. She's like, no, this is my house. This club is my fucking idea. You don't get to make all these unilateral decisions, Christopher Chaos. And so the twins start to leave, you know, because as you do. And so Sasha decides to try to get the last laugh. And she's like, huh, what a bitch. And Yordi's like, oh, fuck that shit. And basically slashes Sasha in the face with his like weird like knuckle glove thingies. And he's like, you might have chased me, threatened me, laugh at me, scare me until I fucking cry, but you do not disrespect my friends. And honestly, slay. And so Sasha's like, ooh, nice claws, silver. And so basically she transforms into her werewolf form. And do you have the picture I sent?
Yes.
So audience, I just want to let you know that this page, when I first read this book, this issue, and the second time I read this issue, and the third time, it took me at least 5 minutes to get through this page alone. These next couple pages alone. You might be wondering, why? Well, do you see the hot monster man on your screen on the top panel? Do you see that hot monster man? You see him right there? That's my husband right there. That's one of my several husbands. Okay, that is Adam Frankenstein. We have met him before since issue 1. You know, he is fine as hell. Love him to death. We love him. This is just gonna be an
Yeah.
Adam Frankenstein simp account. Okay, just letting you know that, Cryptid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm turning this
Yeah.
podcast towards. Anyways,
Yeah, he has that shirtless lumberjack look to him, you know?
he's so hot. He's so hot. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I just gotta say it. Give me a second. Thank you. Okay, so basically he gets home to wherever he is currently. I think it's the church that he lived in. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so we see him get undressed, and we see Mr. Crimson over here watching him while he's getting undressed. Do you have something you want to tell me? You want something you want to tell me, Mr. Crimson Boy over here? It's on site. It's on site. You don't even need to fight Adam. You're gonna fight me, bitch. It's on site now. Like, how fucking dare you? He's over here trying to fucking shower, get clean, because I get it, you know? And so while Adam is showering, Mr. Crimson Man over here, he's like looking through his stuff. I was like, don't look through his shit, asshole. Anyways, so Mr. Crimson Man over here, that's what I'm calling him right now, just letting you know that. He's watching Adam, like, go to this, like, kind of, like, abandoned spot where his church used to be, because if you remember from a few issues ago, he basically used the organ to, like, how do I put it? Basically sink the church into the ground before it got, like, attacked,
Mm-hmm.
And we see Adam put on one of the Hellwing's cloaks to go through the ground for some reason, like, to get to his church. We see Mr.
Yeah.
Crimson over here go to the same spot, and we see Adam pull up from the ground being like, why do you follow me? Why are you fucking following me? Yeah, why are you following my fucking husband, bitch? How fucking dare you? It's on site. Cryptid, you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
It's on site. I'm fighting you. I'm fighting you. I don't care if you're a hot demon. It's on site, bitch. It's on fucking site. Okay? Cool. So we're kind of back to the Monster Club at this point. And Christopher's, okay, so this was supposed to be a really good thing. So I'll take a breather, And I feel bad for Viv, because she's gonna have to clean up all that blood on the wall. That's gonna suck ass, Cryptid. You know how hard it is to get blood out of a wall?
I wouldn't know that profession. Let's put it that way.
But, like, even after you clean up the initial blood, it's still there. You could still
Yeah.
like, if you get a black light, you could still see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's gonna have to get, like, I think hydrogen peroxide or something to get that out. But regardless, and so we see Viv, being like, "Hey, Sasha, you dare call me a bitch? I hate fucking dogs." And she summons all her cats to attack Sasha, who's in her werewolf form. And Christopher's, like, crouching down because he doesn't want to get hit. He's like, maybe this was a bad idea. Kid, you're fine. You have blue hair, you're autistic, and you're gay. It's okay if you don't understand a couple social cues. It's fine. Like, you didn't know. You're okay. You're fine. Anyways, so, basically Sasha tells Luca, like, these stupid cats come from her fucking throat. And so basically Luca is turning into his werewolf form to go after Viv, and Yordi is like, we ain't doing that shit. And you made me feel weak, powerless, but I'm really not. And so Luca is still trying to be the level-headed one out of the two of them. And he's like, yo, bro, we said that we were sorry. And basically just, like, kicks Yordi into the fucking ceiling. Because that's what you do, I guess. Oh, R.I.P. Jake, guys. R.I.P. Anyways, so basically Viv makes a helmet, a sword, and a shield out of spirit cats. So that sounds slay. And Christopher is going to his bag because apparently there's something in his bag that he needs to get. And he's, like, freaking out. He's like, where is it? Where is it? While everyone else is fighting. And so he finds the thing he was looking for. And he's like, okay, everyone fucking freeze. And he freezes everyone into place, including the cats. Yeah. The spirit cats. So, just letting you know that now. And Yordi's like, what the fuck is this? And so Christopher, being the mad scientist that he is, he's like, oh, it's an anti-gravity ray? Don't worry, you can breathe, but you can't really do much else. And he's like, I am so tired of the violence, of the hate, and never having the right words to say. which that kind of rhymed, like Loki kind of rhymed, poetry. And he's like, only to have everyone speak over me when I finally do. Like, why can't we just all get along? Like, I'm thinking within chaos. And probably Viv is right. Perhaps an invitation is in order to bring us all together. So I thought, what brought us together? The Monster Underground. We're going back under, besties. And so we see some narration bubbles. I'm just going to read the narration bubbles real quick, and then we're going to go back to what's in the scene. And so he's like, I shouldn't be doing this. How do you know when you've gone too far? If that dark secret itch still feels so good. Are guilt and shame someone else's programming? Wasn't it the world that trained us to feel that way? To feel this wrong? Shouldn't I be doing this? Doing something right with all these wrong feelings, rewiring all this corrupt programming because a new world with new rules and only good feelings is awaiting, and it won't build itself. So what's happening in the scenes behind the narration bubbles? We see Hayden's mom basically going into the street, and she's like, no, Hayden, what do I do? Because like she's freaking the fuck out. She wants to rejoin the pack, but at the same time she doesn't want to have to do that, like what she has to do. And so we cut to a scene with Mr. Crimson over here and my husband Adam. They're about to either fight or make out. Who knows, to be honest with you? Because Crimson over here is on a mission to go kill Adam. And Adam's like, leave me the fuck alone. And so in the next panel, we see Hayden's mom basically turn into her werewolf form.
Yeah.
So that's fun. We're going to see more ginger wolves running around. Cool beans.
Wow.
And so we see Christopher's mother knock on the door, and she's like, honey, before I go to bed, just checking in. I know you're grounded, but she's like, is everything okay? And so we see, remember from earlier that in the beginning of the issue where Christopher was making something?
Yeah.
He made a robot decoy of himself. And he's like, yes, mother, good night, I love you, in a robot voice. So that's where the issue is.
Did he say, live? Live!
No, I'm probably not, honestly.
Gotcha.
I still think that Christopher is related to Victor Frankenstein in some way, shape, or form. I don't know just yet. I do kind of want to see more of the relationship between Christopher and Adam, like what their deal is. Because in the first issue, we see that Adam was holding baby Christopher in his hand and was like, hey, it's all good. Like, I'll take you to the hospital so that you can get taken care of. Someone will take care of you. So we still don't know why he has the blue hair. Apparently that he was born with the blue hair. So just letting you know, he was born with that blue hair, and maybe the pronouns. We don't know about the pronouns just yet, but blue hair. Anyways, so our lovely werewolf twins are a part of the Monster Club right now, as we could see in the cover for the next issue. So we're going back to the Monster Underground, besties. How we feeling? And I fucking swear to God, if Mr. Crimson over here kills Adam, it's on site. I'm gonna go into this goddamn book and I'm beating his ass. And before you're like, he's a fucking demon with a flaming sword and has many years of battle, blah, 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 blah. You can't beat his ass. Yes, I can. Yes, I fucking can, and I will. I will fight this motherfucker. Like, for the honor. Like, make up your goddamn mind. Are you gonna make out with him or are you gonna fight him? Like, it's killing me. Figure out what you want, Crimson Man, before I figure it out for you.
Yep.
Anyways, that was Christopher Chaos issue 12. I can't wait for the next issue. I hope we get to see more Adam. He's my favorite character. Yeah. Anyways, we should move on before I keep going on Adam. Because I know the next issue is going to be a little wild for all my alien fuckers out there.
Yeah. Sorry I wasn't talking during your book glitch. My throat's sore, so if I don't have to talk, I try not to. That's what I'm trying to do.
Fair enough.
But it's something you have to tell me your book. So.
Gotcha. And with that, we'll move on to the next book, audience. Fantastic Four, number 25.
Woo!
Jake, do you want to take the lead on this, man?
I read half of this book. So that's
So he could take
Okay.
the first half, and you could take
Well,
the second half. There you go.
I mean, if your voice is that damaged, I could describe
it's
what's
not
happening.
damage. It's not damage. It's like if I don't have to say anything, I shouldn't say anything.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this book follows a Fantastic Four. They're finally addressing the Doom problem. The Doom is the supreme now. Too bad they won't get anywhere with it because as Johnny fucks with Doom shit, they get teleported to a different planet. Or do they? But yeah, they run into an alien race, and Johnny and this alien kind of hit it off, and everybody's been, making waves about it. So
Be supportive.
yeah,
Be supportive, Jake.
I
as
have
far as,
thoughts on this.
as far as the actual relationship goes, like it's fine. I just feel like there's not. I feel like I get why she would like Johnny. I don't get what Johnny sees in her.
Thank you.
That's my only issue with it. It feels like
Is there anything about this alien lady that you would think that Johnny would not like about her besides the fact that she's an alien?
It can't because their relationship is built on him trying to get to know her people, but the book doesn't show you the time, like they don't have moments where they're like laughing. It's more like, which it would be like if you went to school with somebody who was a foreign student and the only dialogue you had was like, wow, it's cool how in Europe you drive on the left side of the road and in America we drive on the right. And then it was like a conversation like that, and somehow that led into making out. And they're like, that's kind of where that's kind of what the how it's written.
Okay,
like
I was just curious.
Yeah.
So you guys don't mind that he fucked an alien lady?
I do. I do.
Dude, I don't think you understand the idea of monster fuckery, and aliens do fit into that category. So I'm counting this.
Yeah.
They're the Fantastic Four. They see weird shit all the time. At this point, like how many years?
I know Johnny has done humanoid aliens before, but this is just taking it to the next level.
Oh,
I'm like,
Cryptid. Oh, Cryptid. Wait until you get into the world of monster fuckery. You're going to have a great time.
Hey, wait. I don't mind being the Captain America in the room that's pointing out, like, why are Pietro and Wanda hooking up like that? Well, everybody in the room is like saying, "Oh no, get with the times, man." You're like,
that's different. That's incest. That's not good. This is different. These are two people who are not related to each other, having fun and having consent when it comes to whatever they decide to do.
Look,
okay, you do not understand the idea of monster fuckery.
If I may, like I said, I don't have a problem with the Fantastic Four, especially of all people, getting into like weird alien romances, because it's like they've seen so much shit, they've done so much shit, they're out of the box all the time. If you wrote it right, I don't really mind Johnny getting with an alien that looks so different from a human. I just think that the way they introduced it kind of seemed like I was waiting for, like, it was like they introduced the idea, but they didn't really like know how to execute it, basically. Yeah. I just don't see what Johnny sees in this alien based off his history with romance.
It's like he's by the end of this, he's literally willing to throw it all away just for her, and I'm like, well, really? What the?
Right, and Johnny's more, from my understanding of his relationships, it's more either like you look hot or like you do something for him on an emotional level. But there's no, I mean, from a human standpoint, the creature doesn't look attractive, and from an alien standpoint, it doesn't really. I don't see the emotional investment Johnny would have in this alien. Essentially.
Oh my God. Sorry, but I just wanted to let the audience know that someone did make a monster fucker pride flag. So I'm gonna be giving one to both myself and Johnny. So, so that regardless on how these two got together in the first place, we can still acknowledge that he is a monster fucker.
Yeah.
I also need to remind me later to give one to Aurora as well. So
if I may, is she a monster or an alien? That's not. I think that's kind of offensive.
Well, people like to put aliens in that category.
I feel like we should say alien fucker. I feel like
I mean, I'm not gonna give you shit. A lot of people won't really give you shit if you say alien fucker instead of monster fucker, but people do tend to put aliens as a category in the idea of monster fuckery. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, just letting you know. So if I say monster fucker or alien fucker, both are right.
But I would like to say a lot. Just besides that, the book does a lot of things right. I really do like the science angle of the Fantastic Four. This book nails it so well. The scenes of like the team culturally exchanging between the races is really cool. The art is a W. I really like the way Johnny is written here. Is not written, but well, yeah, written. He's written pretty well outside of the romance. And I do like the way he's drawn, too. Johnny actually looks younger in this issue, which is good because he's supposed to be the youngest. And the beard really fits him this time. I really like the way beard's drawn in this issue. So, but yeah, there's a lot that I liked from what I read. It's just that,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to hit it off. It's just like, the only thing I just didn't understand was the romance. It just felt like there was a step missing between when they met and when they made out.
Fair enough, honestly.
Yeah.
At least, Jake, you can understand the monster fuckery of it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It just wasn't a good romance.
I mean, you guys did, both you guys and the audience did listen to me simp over Frankenstein's monster for like a good 20 minutes. So anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
No. Okay. You want me to handle the next part of this book, Jake?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, what ends up happening is, so they do eventually get their ship or whatever to work and all to get themselves back home. But this is kind of when they kind of realize, oh wait, this is actually we're actually in Earth. You have like a Planet of the Apes sort of situation where, something happens in the past involving the sun that just does something to change the whole species of the planet Earth. Jake, do you mind explaining that since you're into science mumbo jumbo stuff? Jake,
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, something. Reed concludes that like something happened within the sun that changes the specimens within Earth, which caused this to happen.
So really, he's fucking a human.
Well, the way I see it is that fish that came out of the water evolved into something else entirely.
I think. I remember reading the issue, and I hadn't even gotten to that point yet. Like, I stopped right when he said we're on Earth. But I remember when I started the issue, I was like, I don't feel like they left the planet. I thought, I thought they had just shrank really small. I didn't think like they actually left, but yeah.
That's the best way I could explain it. So anyway, so they're trying to talk about like how they're going to get back. And Reed concludes, okay, yeah, we could get back, but it would mean that this whole planet will cease to exist. And Johnny is there like, no beeping way. We are not doing that. I don't care if this is to save the Earth. And like, what the, wait, John, calm down. At best, this is a summer romance, and those rarely ever last. I mentioned this on our Discord, right? In this issue, I would have agreed with Ben, and I would have punched Johnny in the face for what he was saying in this, because, like, Ben's there saying, like, Johnny, we left our kids behind on Earth, our Earth. And Johnny's like, you think I don't know that? Well, guess what? There are kids on this world, too. Plenty of them. What? Yours are special?
They're ours for starters, but logically speaking, ironically, Johnny has a point. But it's the reason why he's saying it is clearly just because he wants to fuck this alien.
Yeah. Well,
just bring the alien with you.
Can he?
No,
Maybe.
you can't bring. Look, we have to learn lessons from what happened in the MCU of the Skrulls. Like, you can't bring an entire species on the Earth just like that. You know?
Species, I just said bring the one.
No, he's literally saying we have to bring everybody or something like that. You know? But like, you know, that's when Johnny realizes, okay, maybe I said something I shouldn't have said, and that's when Thing punches him, like, you know, oh, you, like, you said something you shouldn't have. So fight commences. That's when Angela breaks him up, and you know, Reed. Look, I would assume Reed would have already thought of this. Like, okay, I'll find a way so both universes could continue to exist. I'm not going to try actually destroying this universe. You know. So he does some science mumbo jumbo to where like this universe will be one of, you know, the multiverse, right? But in order to ensure that Earth and this universe don't overlap or destroy each other, we can never the universes can never interact with each other. You know, I did like the dialogue where, you know, Johnny is out here saying like, yes, it's always this situation. Like, I'm the only one in the family who has never had a wife, who has never had kids. I'm the only one here who never had a happy ending. Now that could have been that's a good beat to go on. It's just, again, Angela. It's just no, that's a
I think
Pokemon right there. That's a
I think
Pokemon.
I know that the author loves the one and done stories, and I love them too. Really, to be honest, I think there should have been 2 issues. Honestly,
Probably, yeah.
Like this issue in general should have been 2 issues.
yeah, I
Hmm.
think that this part 1 should be establishing that, one, Johnny feels like isolated in the fact that he doesn't really have like a love life at this moment,
Yeah.
and 2, it should have been just focusing on these two's relationship. So
Uh-huh.
like, because like I said before, I don't mind the alien, I mind the romance itself. I
Hmm.
just would like that to be fleshed
It
out
is.
more. I think having one issue about that and the next issue about we have to destroy this place, I think that would have been fine. I think it should have been 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fair enough. Fair
Gotcha.
enough.
But
I just wanted to be sure, guys. I just wanted to
yeah,
be sure.
yeah.
but yeah, I just, by the end they do make the resolve and they do end up separating, and you know, Johnny is, you know, a little depressed, and Ben's with him as they're watching the stars as the issue ends. Y'all know how I feel about this whole like situation when it comes to Earth's destruction, right? You know, for me, there's no philosophical debate, there's no moral complexities. No, you save that Earth, you
Mm.
save the Earth. Like, there's no compromise whatsoever in that situation, you know? So, um, yeah, that's the
Wait,
issue.
wait. But they were saving the Earth. Either way, they were saving Earth. Okay, that was Earth.
Humanoid. I like the human species, man. Come on. You want me to say it?
Humanity before everyone. He's a human patriot.
Yes! 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 Oh, you want to say that's problematic, Jake?
I don't think it's problematic. I'm just trying to establish. I'm trying to establish where we are. All right, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, will we see Angela in here again? Maybe, maybe not. This run's been a good, for the most part. I mean, every issue I've been enjoying. You know, we've even the
Yeah.
bad ones. We had a lot of amusement with it, audience. You know, this
Yeah,
one
like
just
I always say this, and I'll say it till it happens. This needs to be a TV show. Like this whole run needs to be a good TV show. So,
gotcha. All right then. I mean, I guess with that, we kind of pretty much said all we needed to say about this issue, unless anybody has any final thoughts.
Monster fuckers unite.
there
That's
you
all I
go.
had to say on that. I didn't read the issue. I don't know. I only saw what people were
Mhm.
posting on Twitter.
And I bought the issue, which so yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm over
All
here
right,
reading my other monster fucker books. Okay, let me live my
all
truth.
right. Well, with that, I guess we can move on to the next book, audience. Do-do-do-do,
Oh, that
do-do-do-do.
was the way transition looks scary.
Yeah.
It went from Johnny making out with an alien to this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And guys, we are back on Matanili because we are continuing our Bionicle, What Lurks Below. This is book 2, for those who forgot. This is book 2 and the 10-book Biological Chronicles saga. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Last time we left off, the Toa Mata were facing off against a new threat, the Borok. The Borok's sole mission is to destroy everything on Matanui. If you're a person, you're fine. But your house, your sports stadiums, your monuments, your art, all that's gotta go. Your forest gotta go. Okay? We're
Wow.
all
Wow.
of it. So as the Toa were continuing their quest to collect 6 Krana from each breed of Borok, so they could unlock the chamber to finally turn off the swarm, we kind of get things kind of get a little bit hectic. One of the Toa actually fails in their mission, and this winds up being Liwa, the Toa of Air. And this started as a very basic plot, but it evolved into something that was really cool and unexpectedly kind of horrifying. Liwa gets possessed by one of the Borok. The Borok have these things called Krana inside them. And the Toa learned that the Krana is the thing that lets the Borok know what to do. So the Krana tells the Borok to destroy everything, basically, to clean it. And so if you get infected with the Krana, you will clean everything too. Like, you will be like a Borok, basically. So Liwa was possessed, and the Toa haven't heard from him in a while. So Anua goes to check on him, and it leads to a big fight. And this fight kind of ends like with the whole like, listen, this isn't you, brother. Like, you have to look within. You have to break free. I know you're stronger than this. And Liwa is, and he breaks free. But I like how he explains what happens to the group. So like the Toa all get together, like, Liwa, we were missing you. What happened? And he says like, he says, yeah, so by the time I got to my home, it was already too late. The Borok had already destroyed everything and kidnapped the Matoran and held them hostage. And it was either I put on this mask or they all die. And Tahu, by the way, Tahu is the leader of the team. He is the leader, okay? They look to him for guidance sometimes, okay? And he thinks about this. He's like, wow, you really fell for that? Wouldn't be me.
Yeah. Sure it wouldn't.
I love Tahu in this book. He's so funny. He's like if Raphael and Captain America fused into a character. Like, he's hot-headed and impatient, but on the battlefield, he can give orders like nobody's business. So basically, after the Toa all get together, they decide it's time to end this. They have all they need, so they go underground to face off against the 2 Borok queens. The Borok queens. But on the way, Liwa has some doubts. He's like, listen, it was more than just me getting taken over. I could hear their thoughts. I could hear I could hear everything. I was a part of them. And even now that I don't have their mask on, I still feel like I'm connected to them. And he's really worried. He's like, listen, I don't know if you guys can trust me. I don't even know if my thoughts are my own. I still kind of hear the Borok thoughts. And it's really kind of horrifying, to be honest. And they wind up having to face some trials like they did when they fought against the Makuta. And eventually they run up into the Borok queens. And this fight is like really intense. Okay. The Toa wind up getting exo armor to fight the Borok queens, but they're too strong for the super armor they have. And they keep throwing elemental powers at him, and nothing's working. And the whole time, Lee was terrified because the queens, even without the Krana mask on him, they could take control of him. So in the middle of the fight, he tries to help his friends, and the Borok queen just like freezes him, like his whole body gets frozen. And he's just screaming because he can hear all his friends cry, need help, but he can't help them at all, basically.
Wow.
There's even like a really like upsetting scene where you hear like Liwa so mentally like broken. He's like, he just screams, help me, like, help, I can't do anything, help me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. And it's funny because Liwa's usually the jokester and the lighthearted one. So to see him in this state was kind of like hard to read, you know what I mean? But yeah, sure enough, Tahu's like, listen, Toa, we beat the Makuta. We'll beat this son of a bitch, all right? Everybody rally on me. And then and he comes up with the plan. Tahu's awesome. And they come up with the plan. Basically, they're gonna they try to get the Borok queens, because there's 2 of them. And they try to get them together so they can try to like corner them and blow them up. The problem is the Borok queens have this ability when they're next to each other, they're basically invincible. So they made them.
Wow.
What winds up happening is Tahu comes up with another plan of basically combining all their powers together and encircling the Borak Queens. And that way they can break through the shield and kill them. And sure enough, it works. It takes all their elemental power and all of them working together, but they wind up being able to do it. And then it happens. So basically, the Borak Queens explode into this thing called protodermis, which is kind of like this liquidy substance. Basically, it's something that the Matorians mine for, but nobody really knows what it is.
Hey guys, how's Montanui?
Montanui is going great. Yeah, as the Toa are trying to escape, they fall into protodermis, and they kind of change basically. So I'm gonna read this from the commercial because this actually ties into a toy commercial. So this is how it reads. It goes, "From great victories, the Toamats have repelled the Borak swarm and have been forever transformed. Armed with new mask of greater power, improved body armor, and new tools giving them surprising dual action abilities, they are reborn as the Toa Nuva." And that's how they're born. And I put it in the chat. I don't know if you have it in there. If you see another Bionicle pick, that should be it.
Let's see.
Yes.
Let me bring it up.
This is the Toa Nuva, essentially.
They look like the commandos of the Bionicle world.
Pretty much. They are their armors are stronger and their elemental powers are like far enhanced. And Tahu comes up with the name Toa Nuva. And he's so proud of it that when he comes out, when the Toa leave this adventure, they go like, "From now on, you don't call us Toa, you call us Toa Nuva. You call me Tahu Nuva." It's actually kind of a running gag that like all the Matorian have to call them Nuva now because that's how much like Tahu loves the name, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Toa leave victorious. The Borak have been defeated. And they're proud of themselves. Basically, they have more power than ever. The Makuta's been defeated. The Borak have been stopped. So they're good. And
all goes well.
We're vibing. We're living the dream.
Yeah.
All goes well. Another day saved thanks to the Makuta.
No, thanks to the Toa Nuva.
Scripted.
But frustratingly enough, at least for Gali, they come together after a job well done, and they're talking, and they're like, "You know what? Now that we, kind of saved the day, and we're the strongest we've ever been. Let's like not be a team anymore." And Gali's like, "Are we really doing this again? We did this twice already. Why are we doing this?" She wants the team to always be together. But the truth is, the Toa Nuva, while they are brothers and sisters, and they do love each other in that way, they don't like working together at all. They always argue every time they get into a group, and they rather just be to themselves, essentially. Basically, they're like the Avengers. Like, hey, once we save the world,
they're co-workers. They're not a family.
Yeah, even though they technically
are. Yeah, they are, Wedge. Come on.
They are, but they treat themselves like co-workers, essentially. But they break up, and then we kind of get into... So there's another half of this book left, but I'm going to end it around this point because this is kind of where all the cool stuff happens, so I want a whole section next week for it. But we get introduced to some cool stuff that I know is going to be explained later down the line. Taraga Fakama introduces the Mask of Time. It's a mask so powerful that it can control time itself. It is the strongest mask in Bionicle lore. And when he introduces this mask to Tahu, Tahu's like, "Ooh, I want that mask." And Fakama's like, "No, like, I need you to understand. Like, when I say you control time, I mean all of it. Like, time and reality is in your hands. You cannot use this casually. You will only use this as a last resort." And Tyler's like, well, why show me it if I can't use it? He's like, "Well, I just want to know you can handle it." That responsibility. But yeah, so where I'm gonna stop it is basically in the wake of becoming the Toa Nuva, these mysterious artifacts have appeared in reference to the Toa called the Suva. And they're these icons of their powers. basically, like symbols of how great they've become. And the Matoran have vowed to guard it with their lives. Well, a mysterious figure comes in to each of the Toa's villages, and while the Toa are out doing their thing, they steal the Suvas. And
Bro, what the fuck? Why would you steal the Suvas, man? What the
well, as it would
Because
turn out,
it's their version of souvenirs.
Suva,
Hey,
yeah,
dad joke.
maybe that is. Maybe it is. Actually, you might be onto something. But it turns out there's more to the Suvas than we thought, because as the Toa start using their powers, when the Suvas are gone out of their village, their powers go away. So Liwa is showing off to his Matoran, and he wants to fly as high as he can to show how cool he is, but his power is cut off in the air, and he falls all the way back down to the jungle. Same with the rest of the Toa. Every time they're in the middle of using their powers, they lose them. They might have stronger powers than ever before, but without the Suva, they're just normal Matoran now. And so the mystery now is, who stole the Suva? Was this all planned from the beginning? And how are the Toa going to save the day when they're the weakest they've ever been since even the first book? And so, yeah, What Lurks Below got a lot more interesting. I don't even know who the villain is, to be honest. Because I only know the Borok and the Rockshire from this era, so I don't know who's in between them. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. But yeah, it's a great book. I actually highly recommend this book now. It reminds me why I love Bionicle, and why I really hope this series gets a revival, because it's so interesting to read. And it's such a fun read. The Toa all have their own voices, unique voices, again, like I mentioned before. And I think it really shines, and you really get like that feeling of like, this is a real world with real people, even if they're just Legos. So yeah, like I said, highly recommend.
people love the Monkey King one and the freaking Ninjago one. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, those are good shows too.
People like things that happen to be made out of Legos. Like,
yeah, but like I said, I highly recommend going on Crosswired Geeks and reading this book. It is getting very good. And I'm really excited to finish it. So I'll probably finish it next week. So we'll see.
woo!
Yeah.
Audience, you excited for that? Leave a comment if you're excited for that.
Ooh.
Gotcha. Alright then, with that, we'll move on to the next one.
I think it's my turn. Wait, why is the Shadow the Hedgehog manga in here twice?
Yeah, I just saw that. I think that was an accident.
Oh yeah, okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to be sure. Okay, thanks, Cryptid. Anyways, I'm talking about Marvel Voices Avengers Academy issue 12, The Prestige. You ready for this, Jake?
I'm ready as I can be.
Cool. Okay, so we cut over to...
Hello? Did I disconnect? Audience, is it just me? Okay. Well, assuming it is, hey, how's it going? I guess this is just Jake time. How was your day? My day was pretty wild, actually. I went to a botanical garden today. It was kind of crazy. There were a lot of like frogs and stuff. You know? You like frogs? They be hopping all the time. You know. Yeah. Happy Halloween. In September. You know? Oh, it really is just me. Everyone got kicked out. I guess I am the last Phanatic standing. Well, audience, it's time to tell you the deep lore of Sonic the Hedgehog.
What happened?
Who came in here?
Oh.
Which got kicked out. So
Right,
I have been entertaining the audience with the lore of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hold on.
Yes. So it all started with, hey, Witch.
My phone overheated, unfortunately.
Yo, that happens to me. That happened to me one night.
My phone overheated, audience. I am so sorry.
Yes.
I know you guys were excited for me to talk about Avengers Academy, like always. But
it's okay. I was going to tell them the immaculate lore of Sonic the Hedgehog while they were
waiting. Thanks. Anyways,
yes.
We're cutting back to Avengers Academy. So guess where we are, Jake? Guess what?
Avengers Academy?
Yeah, like where are we, like plot-wise? Like where are we? You know?
Oh, it's been a whole week. I remember there was some fucking going on.
So we're in New York City.
Yeah, as you would be in the Marvel universe, right?
Exactly. My phone overheated, so I'm leaving my phone over there.
Okay.
So I have the comic pulled up. It's just separate screen. Anyways, so we're at the Sinister Six phase, and Squid Kid over here. We have a different artist this time, besties. Just letting you know, we have a different artist. And so Squid Kid is like, Mysterian, you're alive. That's impossible. We watched you die. And Aaron's like, yeah, you kind of laid on it a bit thick, didn't you? And Kari's like, oh, yeah, I had to sell it to the back row, man. Like, who can resist? And so everyone else is shocked or, like, annoyed, So basically just the rest of Sinister Six and Aaron. So Squid Kid over here having a temper tantrum. He's like, all of this was your freaking an act? Like, your death was an act? And Kari's like, oh, yeah, we've won this even before we set foot, like here, Oh, that was Aaron, my bad. Aaron said that. And so Kari's like, yeah, everything after that was showmanship, besties. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we cut back to when Squid Kid got Lizard Boy, like when he was trying to escape with Stanley, and and so don't worry, because Justin and Escapade, Kid Juggernaut and Escapade, they pull up, and they're
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, hey, Jerkface, why don't you pick on a lizard your own size? And like summon, and like they're riding on Devil Dinosaur. Just letting you know, they're riding on Devil Dinosaur. It's like, and so when Squid Kid goes to check like his data and his files, it's actually not his files. You want to know what it is, Jake?
This is porn files.
Not unfortunately not his porn files either. It is Two Gun Kid meets Dracula. Apparently, it's a classic.
Okay.
So basically, they overrid all of his data with Two Gun Kid meets Dracula. I kind of want that movie to be real now.
You know what? We'll make it real. We'll
yeah, and we'll watch it for movie night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, so Squid Kid is like, how is this possible? Like, I heard you hatch your plan. And Kari's like, oh, Calvin, magic is about misdirection. You got to know where the rube is looking. And so we cut back to the club where Kari lives, and right before they do the nasty, when Kari and Aaron do the nasty, and so Kari's like, we get like a little close-up shot between them, being like, okay, listen close, Aaron. He spies on me. I think I don't know, but the club's safe. So here's the real plan. Okay. So we cut over to last night, the docks. Okay. And so we see Brielle and we see Justin. They're like on a like ledge on a building outside of like where the ship is, where the Sinister Six is. And so Kari's like in a narration bubble is like, oh, I'll go to the ship surveillance tonight. Without it, only Lizard Boy and Apostate would sense an intruder, And so Justin is holding Brielle in his hand because remember, he's a big bitch. He's a big boy, okay? And so he's like, okay, all right, Brie, fastball special. And Brielle's like, are you sure about this? And Justin, you want to know what Justin says, Jake? He's like, okay, yep, it's all good. I've been practicing with pumpkins. And Brielle's like, pumpkins? And so basically he throws her into the ship. No, like not actually into the ship, but you understand what I'm
talking about. Unhinged, but all right.
Yeah. Don't worry, she's fine. She's able to... Yeah, no, he throws her so that she can easily get into the ship so that she can do her thing. So basically, why can't I think of words? Anyways, so Kari is like, I keep Calvin and Billy distracted. Billy is Lizard Boy, if you didn't know. And all this other stuff, which he does. And so he's like, and Apostate is magic, so she won't detect Bloodline, aka Brielle. And she'll steal Calvin's data. And with a little help from Moon Girl and Escapade to boost attacks, we're all good, bestie. And so basically in Times Square, right now, of the next day, he basically summons a giant illusion of himself where he shows off all the fucked up shit that some of these companies do. Sorry. I'm dying over here, apparently. Just kidding. I have gross stuff in my throat. It's great. Anyways, so yeah, he uses the screens to show off all the bad stuff that some of these companies are doing. You know, and he's like, behold, the secrets of Alchemex, Oscorp, Stark, Rand, Shaw, Roxxon, Nexus, to get the gist. Like, get your cameras out and record. You know, I'll hold the signal as long as I can. Find the truth, find the exits, find the light. So we cut over to the ship, right? We're at the ship again. Ooh. And so Lunella is like, looks like all that precious information you stole just went public. And so Squid Kid, Calvin, having a temper tantrum as normal. He's like, no, you idiot. We could have been rich. We could have been gods. And Kari's like, I thought you wanted to make the world better, Calvin. That's what God should do. Do you agree, Jake?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Thanks. And so Calvin's having like a full-on tantrum over here. And he's like, I will kill you for this. And all this other stuff, you know, like, you coward. And Kari's like, oh, dude, I haven't been here for like 20 minutes. Like, where have you been? You know, like, where have you been? Anyway, so we cut over to like almost everyone else. And Justin's like, but gosh, if you can't pay your supervillain squad, you know, your supervillain squad show. And so everyone decides to quit. Everyone in Sinister Six decides to quit. Honestly, Jake, is that valid enough for them? Because they ain't getting paid for this shit?
If you're not getting paid, you don't have to work.
Exactly, bestie, exactly. So Brielle's like, or fix the problems that you promised to do? You know? And so Apostate's like, yes, she's right. We have been suburban long enough. Like, and she's like, come, child. She's talking about Lizard Boy, being like, this house has no welcome for us any longer. And so we see Wisp about to leave on his like little Green Goblin type jet thing. I mean, this is a pretty cool design, not gonna lie. Honestly, him and that Miku Ghostwriter girl, they should be friends, not gonna lie. But we'll get to that next week. We'll talk about that next week. Anyways, so Red Goblin's like, Wisp, like, you good? And Wisp is like, yeah, I wanted us to help people. I guess we just did. Like, mission accomplished. Like, thanks, Kari. And kiss my ass, Calvin. Slay, honestly. Anyways, so Calvin is like, well, I can at least take home a consultation prize, some Osborne blood from the child, a sample, or a gallon. And so, instead of getting an Osborne, he gets a Captain America instead. Jake, do you see where this is going?
Maybe. Let me hear how it plays out.
Okay. So basically, Aaron is looking after Stanley because, you know, he doesn't want this kid to get hurt, you know.
Right.
And so, yeah. So Red Goblin goes to check on Stanley, and Aaron being like, Stanley, like, geez, but not you, you big dope. Like, I know you're okay. And Aaron's like, yeah, my force field got you covered, kiddo. I got you. Anyway, so Calvin's like, dang, I got blood from a smelly hobo. Fantastic. Well, I don't think he's technically a smelly hobo anymore because, you know, he lives at the school. So I think they have showers.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jake. I think Carol was like, we're putting showers and bathtubs in here. At least showers.
Wait, bathtub? In what place? In what place?
At the academy.
Yeah, but like where? In the academy?
In a bathroom.
Like the normal bathroom or the dorm bathrooms?
Yes.
Wait, no. Just so we're clear, like, do you mean in a restroom or like in the dorms?
Well, I think if they had their own personalized bathrooms, if they didn't have to share bathrooms, I think they would have a bathtub. But
okay.
if it's communal, then it's showers. That's my theory.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyways, so Lunella goes to Calvin and is like, don't you see what this is doing to you? Like, you're flailing. You're going to drown. And Squid Kid is like, I'll learn to swim. Like, see you later, Lunella. You know, and he dips. So no more Calvin for right now. Anyway, so Sheila is like, well, Stanley, how about we rinse off some of this light to medium childhood trauma with a dinosaur ride? And you know what Stanley says? He's like, yes, please. I mean, I get it. Who wouldn't want to ride a dinosaur once in their life? I mean, in the first issue, we saw Justin do just that. And that's how he met Aaron in the showers afterwards.
Right.
I think it is communal showers
Oh,
because
that's
of
how
the tissue. I'll have to reread it. We'll circle back around to that. We'll talk about bathrooms at this academy later. Anyways, so Aaron's just sitting on the ground. You know, he's just kind of disoriented a little bit. He just got blood taken out, just letting you know. And he just got stabbed with a needle and blood was taken out. Not fun. Why does this always happen to Aaron, though? Anyways, so he's like, did we win? And Kari's like, I think some of us did. You know? So anyways, we cut over to a later point where Normie and Stanley are back with their family. Like, you know, with their mom and their grandpa, you know. And we see this news guy who's also a ginger. I don't know what's up with comics and gingers, but you tell me, Jake. You tell me. Anyway, so
I was told that they're replacing all gingers.
yeah, that's what I was told too. Like, good to know that they're still alive and kicking.
Mm.
If they're not going to be brunette, they're going to be something different entirely. Let's go.
Mm.
Anyway, so we see this news reporter guy, like announce that the family has been reunited. You know, like Norman Osborn and Liz Allen are here with us with their rescued children. It's all good, you know. And so he asks Liz, like, how is Alchemex and Oscorp like coping with the drop in stock prices, with the Mysterian leaks, blah 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 blah. And Liz is like, oh yeah, we're just glad to have our boys home again and hope that the criminals involved in this data leaks are brought to justice soon. You know, a very PR statement here, you know? So it's a very PR statement. I like how Liz is drawn in this one panel, though. Like, I like that one. I like that.
So with the new artist, you're really enjoying it?
I do like the new artist. I don't know if it's like if it's gonna stay like this for the rest of the run.
Is it better than the last art you got?
I like both artists.
Okay, but which one would you prefer?
I don't know yet. I haven't had enough time with this new artist just yet.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, but I do like both artists. I'm not hating on the artists. Okay, I've read books where it had like not so good art before. Mouth was split. So I'm willing to give these artists a chance to see if I like it. Okay, so I got this. Anyways, so Normie is like, I'm glad you're back, kiddo. You know, and Stanley's like, me too. Wherever you were, it just doesn't feel safe without you here. Like, will you stay this time? And Normie's like, yeah, I'll stay. Anyways, so Norman, not Normie, Norman, okay, Norman, without his waves, he just has he's just having a receding hairline. What happened to his waves, guys? Justice for Norman's waves, okay? Jake, you hear that? Audience, you hear that?
Yeah.
Austin, I know you're not watching this, but if you're hearing this, you agree? Cool, thanks. Anyways, so Norman is like, of all places, the Avengers Academy, founded to mock everything I've worked to build. And Normie's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? And Norman's like, oh, they haven't told you? Ask him about the first class. You know? Oh yeah, don't bring that up. We're good. We're good. We won't bring up the first class, and we won't bring up the game. Okay? Cool? Awesome? Cool. Anyways, so he's like, ask him about arcades. Mouth with camera. Anyways, so I sent this panel to the chat earlier because I wanted to bring it up. So remember from a couple previous issues ago with the Hexus daughter or whatever, where she was kind of creepy and creeping out Stanley? Well, she's back. And she's like, he's interesting, isn't he? And the dads are like, oh, the heir of two major financial titans, like possibly a future Avenger. And he lives at an interdimensional way station, an access point for thousands of new worlds, new markets, new vectors for infection. Like, and the little girl's like, neat. So even when this dumb old world is dead in slime, he could take us to the stars. And the dads are like, yes, Hexus is interested. And together, may we grow. And so Normie walks through the door of the academy and is like, woof! You know, I'm starting to think growing up around whimsically designed explosions and family who treats death like a third quarter financial strategy might be bad for me, actually. So yeah, Lunella goes to Normie and it like kind of hugs him, you know. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're back! Like, wait, aren't you?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, my family could deal with me being missing later. Like, but around the dinner table, at least that's a bargaining leverage. Like, we're fine, we're good. You know, I'll still be around for dinner. Like, I'll pull up when I need to. You know, like, they can't keep me away from her. I don't care about anything." Like, he's like if you guys want me, you know. And so Aaron's like, "We used to say something around camp, like around the camp, like." You really want to know who else is on your side? See who else got bruises that day. Like, people aren't their origins, you know? Like, well, at least my dad wasn't like the Green Goblin, but, you know, like, we could start anew, you know? Like, want to try that together? And so they shake hands because they didn't have like beef per se. Like, I wasn't gonna say beef, but Aaron was definitely hesitant. I think that's the word that I'm thinking of right now. Towards when he found out about Normie, you know, and his whole thing. Anyways, so we cut over to Calvin. Remember Calvin, Squid Kid? So basically we see him looking at some screens, and we see a voice from outside of like we see a disembodied voice at the moment being like, "You disappoint me, Cuddle. Like, you promised me the goblin formula, Osmond blood, like liquid capitalism." Anyways, so Calvin's like, "I promised you power, and I brought it. Behold, Alchemex's super soldier serum." And the disembodied voice is like, "The blood of Captain America? Actually, I can work with that." So I didn't really bring her up because I didn't think she was that important at the time, but apparently she is important now. So a couple issues ago, when we first met the character Apostate, we kind of get introduced to this character named Cherry Crane or whatever. And so basically she was like this influencer that's really big and everything, and Sheila did not like her at all. And like she got really pissed off that she couldn't block her again and everything because of updates or whatever. So we found out that she's a part of Hydra. Jake, thoughts on that?
Wait, repeat that last part again?
So Cherry Crane, who is like this internet celebrity that Sheila does not like, she's a part of Hydra.
Oh, she's part Hydra?
She's part of Hydra.
Oh, I thought you said she was part Hydra. I'm like,
that would be interesting if she was part Hydra.
Right. That would have been a big turn of events.
Yeah, but I think that's a little too much for the Avengers Academy.
Right. But if Captain America was Hydra, I think she could be Hydra too.
I don't think Aaron would be a part of Hydra. I think even Cryptid would agree with that. It is not in his character.
It's not.
It's not. But yeah, that's where the issue ends. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next issue, but I do have a theory. If you want me to give my theory on this,
you want to do it? Sure.
Okay. So my theory is it's gonna start off pretty chill with like the aftermath of all of this happening. Maybe Carol's gonna scold them a bit because this is a school after all, you know. Remember, guys, this is a school, not a military operation. She said that herself, and not the exact word, but she said it herself. So it's gonna be kind of chill, but then we're also gonna see stuff with Cherry Crane later down the line, or maybe like a different villain. But I think Cherry Crane and Squid Kid and Hydra are gonna be a big part of like this like next villain arc, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Because at first, we were getting introduced to the team and everything, so it was like they wanted an easy villain with Swarm, and then they introduced the Sinister Six, and now I think Cherry Crane is gonna be a major villain from now on. That's for like this next like little mini arc. That's my theory on it. Exactly. So that's my theory on this. You can hit up Cryptid to come back in, but yeah, I don't know about this love triangle between Aaron, Justin, and Kari, but we'll see what happens. Honestly, we all know that Sheila and Brielle are probably gonna get together. Like the Sapphics are gonna win this time, and honestly, they deserve a victory. They deserve a victory every once in a while, you know? Like we all do eventually. Anyways, I'm just giving my final thoughts, Cryptid. So, yeah. I was just saying that the Sapphics deserve a win. You know, we're going to have to wait and see for this love triangle. And you just missed it. You missed the reveal of Hydra. So.
There we turn.
All right. I'm ready to talk about the next book?
Yeah, I'm good. My phone overheated. That's why I had to switch to my iPad.
Gotcha. All
So if
right.
I cut out a lot more, I'm sorry in advance.
All right then. All right. Next book on our list is Avengers Assemble #1. Now,
Good to know
this
Wonder Man is getting work again.
yeah, he is, Good for him, good for him. Now, this is really stemming from what happened in, Blood Hunt, right? By that I mean it's just picking up the momentum because I think Marvel saw, there was good stuff going on in that Blood Hunt tie-in, the premise of, hey, let's bring together some Avengers from that have been from different factions of the Avengers, the Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the original Avengers Academy. I mean, they had good premise there,
Yeah.
this one right here, really disappointed that they didn't get the writer Jed McKay on here because
Hey,
he's
wasn't he
who made.
working on like a bajillion books right now?
I know, like you gotta remember, like if you're a writer in Marvel, right, and you're in charge of an event, imagine how much more work you have on your load. I know we like to crap on events a lot, but you gotta remember, you're going to have to collaborate with like what 10 or so writers. Like, God forbid, if like let's say you're writing character in the event, right? Let's say Doctor Strange, and you have something planned for him, guess what? You have to collaborate with the writer of Doctor Strange about that too, about what you can and can't do, and pretty much vice versa with whoever's going to be in there. So I can understand Jim McKay kind of wants to take it a little bit easy after coming out of an event. But still, I'm getting this vibe of the Penguin situation where you know Chip Zdarsky did a phenomenal job writing that one issue of Penguin. So excited, can't wait for this his series to come out, only to be written by the mediocre writer known as Tom King.
Oof,
Uh,
Tom King slander.
oh my God, yeah, come on, we all know there's pros. More cons than pros of Tom King.
No, I'm
So
not. I'm not gonna deny that. No one's
yeah.
denying that.
Yeah. With this, it's being written by Steve Orlando, and no offense to Steve Orlando, but he isn't what I would put as like, top tier writer. Like, is anybody
I mean, I
excited?
like some of Steve Orlando stuff. He's currently writing all the Wanda stuff right now.
Yeah, he has that going for him, but like, let's say,
He
would
also
you
wrote the
be
Apollo Midnighter series, the miniseries.
okay? Good, good. But would you like be excited, electrified if you find out that he's on another book?
Well, it depends on the book. Like
Mm,
this book, I'm
more,
not really
more.
interested in, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna read it.
it would.
But
So it will be more of the substance of the book than the actual writer, then,
I
right,
mean, I
Rich?
do that with like all books. I'm not
Gotcha.
here for. I'm usually not here for like the writer itself, unless it's like
Mm-hmm.
a writer that I really like or
Mm-hmm.
Peach the logo.
Gotcha.
I'll read
But
anything that she makes, honestly.
yeah, gotcha. But anyway, going back to this book, so it starts off with Sin, really. The daughter of the Red Skull. You know, she's
Good to
in
know that she's
Germany.
also getting work again.
Yeah, true. I mean, well, what else can you really do with Sin? She kind of reached her peak during that Fear Itself event, and this is kind of just her trying to reclaim some of that glory she once had. So she goes to Germany. She kills a bunch of archaeologists who had uncovered like mystical mask, and this just gives her demonic powers. So there's that. Well, while all this is going down, you have Captain America over there in Avengers Mansion. He's like saying, yeah, we pretty much had a good thing going on. And when I formed the team back in Blood Hunt, right? Let's just keep going on with that. So he brings in a couple of calls. He specifically brings in three people so far. It's Monica Rambeau, Wasp, and Shang-Chi. So cool. Oh, and it's at this point that I had to remind myself that, oh wait, yeah, Shang-Chi still has those rings, those 10 rings.
Oh
Audience, you
wait,
never
don't you
had,
just love MCU synergy so much? That
gotcha. But
was
like
that was an ironic tone. That
it's
was
funny it's funny you should bring that up, Butch, because yeah, I wanted to bring up like you know how everybody was like a little pissed off where Kamala in the comics was getting the MCU treatment.
Yeah.
Here with Shang-Chi getting the rings, is anybody really angry at that?
I know people are gonna be annoyed, but like I said, I'm not
Well,
really reading this book. I don't really
yeah,
read a lot of Avengers books
yeah,
unless it's like a subsection like
yeah.
Young Avengers or Avengers Academy maybe.
Yep. But this is like, Shang-Chi specifically, he's getting the MCU treatment, but is there really like a pushback against that?
Here's the thing, I'm not a major Shang-Chi fan, so
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me
yeah,
personally, I don't really care, but for
yeah, that's
other
what I'm
people,
saying.
they will care. Just letting you know.
Gotcha. I mean, I just personally haven't seen much uproar in this situation. And oh, and to top that off, apparently Shang-Chi's rings could teleport, apparently. Huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much about the 10 rings in general, but I don't think they do that, right?
It's just basically how can you how can you say it? A David X Machina, apparently. Just go with it, it's magic. So he has the rings circle around him. They hear like Sin is up to no good, so Shang-Chi uses his rings to teleport the four of them onto Germany. So they're dealing with Sin and everybody, and while this is going down, you kind of find out that Sin is actually kind of being used as a scapegoat here since you have the Serpent Society who are working for her, but they are actually using this little chaos that Sin is having for them to go and rob an artifact from a museum. You have the typical members, Madam Viper, Cobra, and oh yeah, Sidewinder's here. Yeah, I wonder why he's here. Audience. Blank, blank. But anyway, they get what they want, they leave, and of course the Avengers come. They fight Sin, but Sin is like, trying to bring everybody's angers out. Like that's really the only way she could fight against the Avengers in this situation by having them fight each other. And
Mm-hmm.
while all this is going down, you cut back to New York with Hawkeye and Avengers Mansion, and it's pretty much kind of like setting up another Avengers team. So the one you see on the cover, it kind of feels like they just tricked you. This is only a miniseries, audience. Keep in mind. So you assume that this book was going to be the team of the characters you see on the cover, but no, you see one by one, more people are coming in that aren't in the cover. You have, of course, She-Hulk. Yeah, good for her. You have what's her name from Power Pack? The one that could fly with the
Julie
rainbow.
Powers, I think that's what her name
Julie
is.
Powers. Julie Powers. Yeah, you have her. You have Living Lightning. I'm glad they brought Living Lightning back. Like that dude got done so dirty after No Surrender. But like they even bring it up. Like, yeah, we haven't seen you since No Surrender, man. Good to see you. Like, and you also bring in other characters, of course. Wonder Man comes in. Again, he's not part of the team that's actually fighting in this book. He's just like, okay, I'm going to be
He's
part of
just
this
there.
faction.
He's like,
Yeah.
I can't hang out with my boyfriend Beast, so I'm just gonna hang out around you guys. What? Am I
So
wrong?
yeah,
Am I wrong? No, I'm
good
not.
friend, bros.
Okay,
So
bros.
yep. So Hercules pops up here too. I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
Herc,
he's
how
in the
you doing, bro?
yep. I mean, he's here in the cover, but again, like he's not part of Cap's team. He's part of like this other Avengers team that seems to be forming. And wouldn't you know it, even Night Thrasher comes up. Y'all remember Night?
True.
Yeah, one of
I
the
vaguely remember Night Thrasher.
yeah, like Night Thrasher's coming in. He's like, you know what? Let's make this team official. So he brings in Avengers jackets for everybody. And yeah, of course, Sin gets defeated. There is this really cool moment where Captain America gives Monica the shield, and she comes striking at Sin at light speed with that shield. So that was pretty cool. So once again, America has brought a Nazi to her knees. Ah, well, I should say
Slay.
Nazi. Sin is a Nazi wannabe. So
Dang, she can't even commit to being an actual Nazi. Wow.
nah, she's
That's
like,
a
I was
first.
born. She was like, I was born in the wrong generation.
I
So
can't even be a proper Nazi. Not even a
yeah,
proper neo-Nazi.
Yep.
Get
Although
good, honestly. Get good.
although she is making it up by dating her lover Crossbones, who came to find out that, oh shit, I'm kind of wanting to be Red Skull apparently. What
I
the
thought you
beep?
said that they were gonna be siblings. I was like, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Well, would you want that? Would you be upset if that was for a Nazi pairing witch?
We already have the Fenris twins. I'm not doing this shit again.
But now, like, since
I had to
along,
deal. No,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Go ahead,
I
go
need to
ahead.
go on this mini rant. Motherfucker, we had 3 sets of twins pull up in the original Ultimate X-Men book. I know we're not talking about Ultimate X-Men, but I need to go on this
Yeah,
rant because we brought up
yeah,
the Fenris twins. We had
yeah,
3 sets of twins. If Northstar didn't come out when he did, I'm not
yeah.
saying what I'm saying. However, the Maximoff twins were fucking in the Ultimate Universe, 1610
Hmm.
specifically. We had the fucking Fenris twins, which I don't care what universe, they're probably fucking each other in every universe, honestly.
Hmm.
Thank fuck. Anyway, sorry
Hmm.
about that. You could
No,
continue.
no,
I just had
it's
to
all
go on
good.
that rant. It was gonna bother me
It's
if I
all,
kept this in my brain.
it's all
Sorry, I
good.
had to. I had
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Sin just took the whole. You ever hear that motto that girls end up dating their dads? I don't know if you ever heard that term before.
I have. I've heard
Yeah.
either. I think it's
So
either they either date people that look like their dads or date people that are like their dads.
yeah. Well, in Sin's case, Crossbones found out that like what he really wants to be, and this was just a magic mirror that shows you that reflects who you are if you look at it. And he's like, "What the fuck? I see Red Skull. Oh, good lord! Shit, no, no, no." You know. So
He's like,
yeah,
God damn it! I can't even be my own hero. I can't even be my own villain.
yep. But anyway, all goes well. The day is saved, and you go back to the Cerber Society, who use what they steal to summon Mephisto. I'm like, what the fuck does Mephisto have to do with this? But all right, that's really how the issue ends. Yeah, it wasn't what at one point. It's not what I'm expecting, but at the same point, I'm kind of expecting this to be mediocre because of the writer. Again, sorry, Steve Orlando. No offense to you. It's just I personally haven't seen like gold standing quality with you. So
I feel like you gotta read like specific books with like specific like characters. Like I would
hmm
recommend you read the Apollo Midnighter series that he
hmm
did. It's
yeah,
really good.
that could be good for a specific one. But if I'm like saying like let's say
I think if he's working on like either single
yeah,
characters or duos, I think he does a
mhm,
little bit better in my personal
okay.
opinion.
Overall, like, what would you grade Steve Orlando? Like, if you're saying, let's say
Why do you
bronze,
ask me why do people
silver, or
ask me these
gold?
questions? I don't read
Bronze,
all of
silver,
Steve
gold.
Orlando's stuff, so I'm not
Hmm.
good at rating things,
Hmm.
you know?
Gotcha.
Um but I
Because
do
from
like the stuff that I did read. But
gotcha.
I think you need to understand I'm picky about what I
Hmm.
read.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised that I'm reading like I think part of the only reason why I'm reading the Avengers Academy book right now is
Hmm.
because there's characters I like in it. Like
Hmm.
obviously Aaron's in there. I actually at first I was like whatever. I'm
Okay.
reading it out
That's
of like a fuck you to all the bigots online, but I ended up really liking
okay.
his character. Kid Juggernaut, love him. I know he's new, but I love him already.
All right.
Um we
So,
have
before we get into like that, all right.
but
So, Avengers Assemble, it's okay. It's an okay book. Nothing big, nothing
hey,
bad, and
not every writer is gonna have A pluses all around, just like you know.
gotcha. All right. Well, okay. I guess with that, we're pretty much done with this one. Let's move on to
Yeah,
the next
we have
one.
to go back to the monsters.
Hold up, sick.
Cryptid.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Which?
I just want to preface this audience. We're talking about Frankenstein, Universal Monsters Frankenstein. This is different from Adam Frankenstein, okay? Just letting you know that. So I'm not going to be simping over this version of Frankenstein, okay? Just letting you know that. But that's for a different reason, okay?
Yep.
Besides the point.
He's your
So
grandpa's Frankenstein,
yeah,
So.
kind of. But I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to preface I put off this book for 2 weeks, not because I wanted to, was because there was so much other stuff happening. Like last week, I wasn't really feeling well, so I only wanted to talk about the one book,
Mm-hmm.
so I only talked about Avengers Academy. So I was like, and then literally, I think yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Cryptid told me that he got this book. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You want to like, hey, witch? Like, I got the Frankenstein book. You want to talk about it?" tomorrow. And I was like, no shit. I
Mhm.
waited 2 weeks for this.
Mhm.
2 weeks.
Okay. So what happened? Which?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked, Bestie. I'm glad you asked. Anyway, so we cut over to a graveyard. Oh my god, a shocker, a graveyard? Oh my
Mhm.
god. Anyways, so we see this kid at the graveyard talking to his father, who is dead, by the way.
Mhm.
He's like, "Do you remember the horse you made me for Christmas? Like, you were on duty every night and you still found the time?" You know,
Yeah.
and he's like crying because his dad's dead. And he's talking to his
Mhm.
dad's grave, obviously.
And the toy broke.
And the toy broke, and the kid, apparently the kids at the orphanage that he's at said that he doesn't know how to fix it without him. So
Mhm.
he's like, "Why did you have to leave me?" Sniffles, 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 you know?
Mhm.
And so he notices some voices from off panel, and he's like, "Ah, shit, I gotta run." And so we find out that they're grave robbers.
Mhm.
Fun, because that was a big thing back
Yeah.
in the day. You know, people would grave
Yeah.
rob, but there's a very
Mm.
specific reason why they're grave robbing. You know, we'll get
Mhm.
into that later.
Mhm.
And so we see the kid hearing the noises of like shoveling, you know, because it makes noises,
Yep.
and we
Yep.
hear like this loud creaking sound. So they open up a coffin, which we can assume that it's from his father's grave because the gravestone
Mhm.
looks pretty similar. And he's like, "This is useless. Like the skull is damaged. We must find another." You know, but one of the people who is grave robbing is like, "But the rest of it, we can find some. We have some pretty valuable pieces here. You know, like
Mhm.
these are some strong hands.
Oh.
Keep that in mind. Strong hands. Foreshadowing."
Hey. Yep. Yep.
So we cut over to the 2-page splash art, which I love that they do the 2-page splash art for each issue, especially for the
Mhm.
first issue. I love these splash arts. I love them in Dracula. I love them in The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love it here. You know?
Yep.
And so we see this person being like, "Okay, load him into the wagon. Like this body waits for life that only I could bring." So you could probably guess who this is. You could
Yeah.
probably guess who this is. And so we see the kid from earlier is like, he's like, "Oh my god, Dad, like, huh? What the hell?" So he sneaks onto the wagon, as you do when you are a
Mhm.
kid trying to figure out why his dad is getting grave robbed. You know, like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, strong hands?
Mhm.
What are you fucking talking about here?
Hmm.
So we pull up to like this this building. I wouldn't say. I mean, it kind of looks like a fortress. Kind of looks like a
Mhm.
castle. Did we ever agree what this was?
Yeah, I'm calling it a castle.
Okay, let's just call it a castle.
Mm.
Anyway, so the kid jumps off of the wagon with all the dead people on it. I don't know why you wanted to hang out with dead people so badly, but pop
Mhm.
off, I guess. Anyways, so the two people in question who were grave robbing, they take the coffin to the dissection room, you know, and the kid follows them, you know, as you
Mhm.
do, and he sees the laboratory where they're going to be doing this, you
Mhm.
know, and he accidentally turns on a thing which lights up this like giant electric ball. Which, come on, kid, like you're
Yep.
supposed to be figuring out why they're taking your dad, not messing
Mhm.
around with the equipment, you know.
Mhm.
Anyways, so um so one of the scientists in question is like, "Yes, Fritz, put in the brain." I'm assuming this is the Igor of this story. You know, we
Yep.
can probably assume that, yeah. And we can agree on that. And so
Yep.
the kid goes and hides underneath a table, you know, and he's like, "Help me get the body on the table, and then you must move swiftly to the university. You know, everything will be prepared for your return. You know."
Mhm.
And then we see like a lightning strike happens before he can finish the conversation. And so he puts the body onto the dissection table, and he's like, "Yes, that will do. Yes, 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 yes." Now, like, you know, he leaves for the moment, you know, for a little bit, and so the kid grabs his dead dad's hand, and he's like, "Pa, please come back to me," you know, like holding his hand, you know, his dead cold ass hand,
Yep.
and he's like, "What is he doing to you?" You know, and so basically, before the scientist comes back, the kid goes and hides, and he's like,
Mhm.
"Where is Fritz? Like, he should be back by now. Like, so close. We're so very close." And so Fritz goes back, you know, like goes and rides out, and he's like, and we see this horse-drawn carriage being like, "Don't worry, Elizabeth, we'll bring your fiance home." We don't know who this
Mhm.
Elizabeth girl is, but she looks nice.
Yep. Yep.
I like this outfit. Anyway, so we cut back over to the laboratory, and we can assume that Fritz has been successful in getting some people to watch this happen, you know? Anyways, so this scientist's name is Henry, not Victor, but we can assume he's the Victor of the story, okay?
All
so
right.
one of the people is like, Henry, you're inhuman, you're crazy. And so Henry is like, crazy am I? Well, we'll see whether I'm crazy or not. Like, come on up, like, come watch, you know? And so one of the other people is like, you really believe that you could bring the dead back to life? Like, and Henry is like, the body's not dead. And so the kid's like, not dead? Like, what are you talking about? And so, so Henry cranks a few things, you know, Fritz pulls a lever, you know, the body goes up. So the kid is like, oh my God, what are they doing to my dad? You know?
Yeah.
What are you doing to my father? And so we hear a loud boom and some zits, you know, some lightning stuff. And we got another 2-page splash art of electricity hitting the body.
Yep.
You know? So it's a really cool piece of art. I didn't send it through, but I would recommend you go rate this yourself because it's really good.
Yep.
And so guess what? The hand starts moving. It's alive! It's alive! Sorry, I had to. I mean, like, come on. This is a Frankenstein book. You expect me to not say that? Come on. Come on! So the kid is in shock, you know? And so 2 of the spectators are like, come on, like, come help the man, you know? And Henry keeps saying it's alive, you know? And so the kid goes into the shadows. I think this is like I don't think this is a castle. I think this is like a lighthouse or something.
Got it.
I don't, honestly, I can't figure it out. It's a fortress. Whatever. So the kid
It
keeps
has
sneaking
bars
around.
and chains. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so the kid keeps sneaking around, trying to figure out what's happening, you know? While Henry is talking to Fritz and vice versa, you know? It's like, Henry's like, you're a simple mind, Fritz. Like, you must recognize this amazing thing I've done. Like, I have discovered the essence of creation, you know? And Fritz is like, Doctor, that creature is an abomination. I mean, like, fair enough. I could see why he would think that, you know? And so Henry being going crazy, because if you are a Frankenstein that isn't the creature itself, you're gonna go a little mad. It happened to Victor in the book. It happened to practically every single version of Victor Frankenstein, even if it's not the same name. Trust me, even have it in Christopher Chaos. Trust.
Wow, who knew harnessing the power of electricity will make someone go mad with power, right? You know?
Anyways, fun fact, did you know that Frankenstein, like the book by Mary Shelley, was technically the first instance of science fiction?
Nice bit of trivia there.
Yeah, nice bit of trivia. It was like one of the first, if not the first. Because, like, I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. Anyways, so Henry is like, fear is the enemy of innovation, Fritz, and it makes a fool of you, and I will not cower in the face of infinite possibility. Now, like, find Waldman, I must speak to an equal, someone who might understand the gravity of this accomplishment. And so the kid, who's still here, by the way, he's still in this building, this, like, fortress spiral thing. And he's like, Father, like, where are you? You know, and he's looking around. He looks inside, like a corridor or whatever, and he sees a barrel of dissected body parts. Fun times for all, I guess. And he's like obviously disgusted, because I would be too, honestly. You know, I love a good monster every once in a while. You know, to some people it might be called the monster fucker, to other people it might be called the monster lover. Regardless, that's disgusting. And keep in mind, it's like covered in like blood and like goop and other stuff like that, you know, like gross liquids. I don't like gross liquids. I feel like I should preface that. So I understand this kid's dilemma. Anyways, so the kid is walking down. He sees this like barred door, and he opens up the door with whatever strength like a 10-year-old would have. He walks in, and he sees this guy like looking out of a window, right? And we only see like his silhouette. We don't really see like his full like face and body yet. And he's like, Father, I'm here. Like, I'm here. And he sees the monster, the creature, because he doesn't technically have a name. He's just known as the creature or the monster in the question. And so he looks back at the kid with these glowing yellow eyes, which is actually a thing from the book. So actually, the book, like Frankenstein's monster in the book, technically was supposed to be very beautiful, you know, but obviously looks like a dead person. So just letting you know that now. And he had like yellowed skin, not green or blue skin or whatever color skin they want to give him. He has yellowish skin because that's what happens to the body. You know, I can do research. I know things. It might have been years since I've read the original book, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the kid is like a little bit shook. You know, he's like, "Oh, okay. Like you're not my dad." And so we get a better look at what the monster looks like. You know, he looks like very like how he looks in the movie. You know, like you've seen the movie. Like even if you haven't, you've seen what he looks like. You know what he looks like. And so the kid is obviously freaked out. He's like, "No, stay back," you know? And so the monster reaches out his hand and grabs the kid's hand because these are his father's hands, you know? Because from the beginning, remember? I brought up the hands earlier for a reason.
Yeah. You saw the scene. You saw the scene where the kid is like under the table, where where the monster was, in the operating table, and that's where the kid probably thought that this body was his father's because he recognized the hands,
Yes. So that's what he thought. He didn't know that the monster was made of different body parts. He only saw his dad's hands and was like, this is my father. You know? And so the kid, like right now, he's like, "You're not my father, but these hands are all that's left of him. Like, you're in pain, aren't you? Like, it's okay. Like, it's gonna be okay. Like, I have to go now." And my roommate decided to cackle like super fucking loud. I don't think you've heard that, but he's on a Gravity Falls binge. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the kid's like, "I have to go now." Like, and the monster.
Oh, which you there? You were standing up a bit. Can you say something? Oh no, we kind of lost Witch. Jake, you still with us, man? Looks like it's gonna be another solo act tonight, audience. Well, while Witch is in his fritz, so yeah, I guess I could explain what else happened. So the kid goes out. He's like, the doctor. He's a bad man. So he kind of takes matters into his own hands. See what I did there? Hold on a sec. Witch is back.
Am I here?
Witch is back. Yep. Okay,
cool.
you're back.
I just wanted to double check. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, I'm using my iPad right now, so my Wi-Fi is a little bit messed up on my iPad. Because, like I said, my phone overheated, so I'm just gonna finish the rest of it on my iPad. It's fine. I'll be back to my phone next week. I don't know. Like ever since we started using Restream, and ever since I moved, my phone and iPad didn't want to work with me, but it's fine.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so the kid is able to let go from the monster's grip, because like the monster doesn't know. He doesn't know better. He's like just barely alive. To him, like he has the mind of like a baby, He's just a giant baby with a lot of monstrous features. Which is fine.
Yep.
Anyways, so the kid falls down a little bit and he's like, ouch, And so the monster makes like a groaning noise because, monster. And obviously he doesn't know how to speak yet, He's not as verbally articulated as another Frankenstein's monster. I'm not gonna name names today, but you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so the kid's like, that doctor, he's a bad man. He's gonna hurt more people. Like, I have to end this. That's what Pa would have wanted. And he goes back into the room with all like the discarded body parts, and he looks at the weapons. So we cut back over to Henry, and he's like, cowards, all of them. He's writing at a desk. And so we see Henry with a knife or whatever the hell he's holding. I would assume a knife. It looks like a knife. And he goes he's like in the shadows. He's creeping behind the doctor, and he's about to stab Henry when Fritz covers his mouth from behind and is like, "Shh, the child, you must not interrupt the doctor while he's working. Don't worry. Fritz will teach you the rules. You'll be a good boy soon." And that's where the issue ends. That's where the first issue ends, and I'm very curious on what's going to happen next. Obviously we got stuff with the letters page, we got like stuff from from the artist, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
this is a great way to not interfere with what's been established already with the Frankenstein's monster, but to add a little bit of a bonus story of this kid,
yeah, because
So
he's like he wants revenge for his father and all the other
yeah,
people that the doctor
and it,
might have stolen. You
and it
know.
gave us a little bit extra deeper meaning when it came to the hands of Frankenstein, being
Yes,
being the last things that are around that are from the kid's father, which is kind of ironic because like the title of this issue is actually called "The Hands of a Father." I'm
that
like,
is true.
oh, yep. So
That is true.
cool,
And don't
cool.
worry, audience, we did get ads for both Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon. Don't worry. And
Hmm.
don't worry, G.I. Joe fans, you got an ad too.
Cool, cool. But alrighty
Honestly,
then.
all these variant covers are really cool. They're like, we're going to
Yeah.
give y'all variant covers.
Unfortunately, my comic
So,
shop sold out on the variants, and I got the standard
I mean,
the
I got the
standard
standard
cover.
issue too, which I actually
Mm,
really like this cover, so I'm not mad about it. So,
gotcha.
and the next issue is called The Brain of a Killer. So we might get insight on
Oh,
whose brain is in the monster.
okay, okay. So that's a little clever little twist to give backstory on each part of the monster. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's good lore building. You
Encrypted, I
know.
have to ask before this
Yeah.
book ends in 3 issues. Who do you think is going to be next? I think personally it's going to be the Wolfman because that makes sense.
Yep.
But who do you think is going to be next?
Let's see. Would the Invisible Man count?
Yes, it
I
would
would
count.
I would love to see someone try tackling the whole story about that.
I think
With the
if
right
it's
cover
not
block.
going to be him next, it's probably going to be the Wolfman because it makes sense that he's going to be next. But
Yep,
I do think that the Invisible Man will get his own book. Who
that's
knows?
true.
Maybe I'm not going to say the tone is going to be comedic, but it could be
Mm,
comedic if they wanted it to.
yeah, give it a little extra different tone. So,
Yeah, obviously it's still
oh,
gonna be horror, but
mhm,
yeah.
gotcha. But
Anyways, two Frankensteins down. You're lucky that Monster High didn't come out this week, like last week, because that would have been 3
gotcha,
Frankenstein's monsters in one
gotcha.
book, in 1 week.
Mm,
That's a lot of Frankenstein's monster. How y'all feeling, audience? You like Frankenstein's
pretty
monster?
good,
You like
pretty
Frankenstein?
good. Pretty good. But alrighty then. I think we should get on to the last book of the night before my iPad runs out of power. So, all right, with that,
Yeah,
let's move
we
on
have
to the
one more issue, besties.
yep, one more audience. And Jake, if you're still with us, I think you might want to have some insight into this one. It's the Spectacular Spider-Man #7. Jake, you still with us, man? Oh, we just lost Jake.
No, he
Okay.
said that he was gonna be resting his voice. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, gotcha. But anyway, so yeah, in case people need to get a little up to speed, you have like Miles and Peter teaming up. They're going up against Arcade and who's partnered up with some other lower ranked villain of his caliber. Let's see if I can find the dude's name. God dang, come on. How hard is it to find it? Well, I'll find it eventually. But anyway, so of course Peter and Miles are trapped into this arcade world, right? And this is where it gets kind of interesting because the arcade world, it becomes sentient. It becomes its own being. You know, that's who you see in the cover right here. He goes by how do you pronounce that? Which naive?
How does it spelled?
Look, you see it in the cover here. Knaive.
Is it naive?
Naive. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know. That's what
Uh,
it looks like. I think the K might be silent.
yeah, he they kind of actually bring
Or
that up because
connive, like conniving.
yeah, it could be
I think
like
connive might work a little bit better than naive because it's an
gotcha.
acronym.
Oh,
So I think it's connive.
he actually addresses this right. This is actually going to be an acronym. His name Naive is actually stands for New Artificial Intelligence Villain Extreme. And Spider-Man's
What
like
the hell does the K stand for?
he's like and the yeah and Naive is saying the K is silent.
So it is naive. Okay, cool. K is silent. Cool. He's naive.
Gotcha. So anyway, Peter and Miles are like, okay, let's cut this guy some slack. He just gained sentience and that and this and that. Just let us walk away and free everybody, and we'll be okay. But Naive is like, oh no, 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 I need you to fulfill my purpose or whatever. I need to still study you humans and your behavior patterns, this and that. So yeah, nobody's getting free. So, also, Hammerhead's also trapped here with them. So everybody who's basically trapped in Arcade's world is fighting for their life to uh, fight against Naive. To get out. Like you have some of the vermin people, and you have Miles's brother. His clone, basically the Hulk Miles. He
Mm-hmm.
comes in. Everybody's doing what they can to fight him. I mean, heck, even Jackal comes in. He has a couple of other beings of his caliber with him. So yeah, they all take turns. They all fight him. But unfortunately, since this is still a world run by Naive, right? Naive's like saying, "You know what? I think I did find something for that K. How about it'll stand for killer?"
What?
Okay,
I guess.
he worked it off. He worked it out, audience. But anyway, so yeah, they actually end up bringing like the fake family. You remember early on in this series, Peter and Miles were basically going through like for the man who has everything storyline. Peter was married to Gwen and they had children. Miles had his parents and was dating Kamala Khan. Well, they end up bringing all of them back. Remember, they're robots, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now they're all looking to attack Peter and Miles, right? Uh, I know there was this really sick, twisted moment where it appeared that Peter would, after finding out that this whole world is fake, it looked like he was about to kill Gwen and their children, right? Only for them to stop at the last minute, okay? But this is where I thought, like, oh my god, are you really gonna have Peter go through killing Gwen and their children? Come on, dude. Come on, Marvel. Cut this guy some slack. But anyway, he doesn't end up doing that, but they do end up fighting, and it's hard for Peter to fight them, right? But this is when Miles is like saying, you can't hold back your punches. Okay, but then that's when Kamala Khan comes in
Hey,
attacking Miles.
Kamala, we miss you.
Remember, she's a robot in this,
Never
so
mind.
Peter's like telling Miles, oh, okay, okay. So it's easy to say that when we're fighting my loved ones, but it's not easy to say it when we're fighting your loved ones, eh? you know. So anyway, fight commences. Eventually, Miles brings out what else? His Venom Blast sword, and that's how the day gets saved by him giving a Venom Blast EMP. So, all right, they defeat him. They arrest Jackal, and yeah, you see Naive. Yeah, he's blowing up, but I mean, come on, he's an artificial intelligence. He'll pop up somewhere. So yeah, that's pretty much how the issue ends. Yeah, yeah. Um, Nothing much to go on. I think this series kind of reached its peak already with the whole uh spy, for the men who have everything storyline with Miles and Peter. So it's just running on fumes at this point.
Fair enough.
So
Wait, who's writing this book?
Greg, wait, hold on, let me bring up his name. He's the one who was in charge of the Spectacular Spider-Man show.
I don't
Uh,
know. I just wanted to see if it
Greg,
wasn't Zeb Wells. I think that's a
it's
different Spider-Man run.
it it's Greg Wiseman.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he was in charge of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like the head honcho of the Spectacular Spider-Man series. The animated series. The one Jake really likes.
Yeah.
So, all right. No,
So,
I
did
guess
you like this book?
it was okay. Yeah. Again, it reached its peak already. So let's see what happens next.
Fair enough. Anyways, audience, thanks for joining us. If you want to hear me talk about more Monster Men or gay shit in general, stay tuned because I do plan on doing both of those things soon.
Will do. All right, then, audience. I guess with that, let's just get some extra sleep. So we'll see you all next
And
time.
audience, if you're excited for more Spider-Man, wait till next week. I'm sorry, I had to. We talk about Spider-Man every week.
Yep. And if we're lucky, we talk about Spider Boy.
At least he's a little bit different.
Gotcha. All right.
At least he's not Peter. There you go. I'll give you that.
Yeah.